Hey, thanks for stopping by today at Signs for Success. Today we're going to do a little demonstration on installing cut vinyl graphics. So Ben is going to demonstrate first doing a top hinge, and whether you're doing a top hinge installation method or center hinge method, you're going to want to tape the graphic in place, get it nice and level, and then at each end put a piece of tape so we've got a place to register back to later. Right now Ben's putting some tape across the top. Oh, dropped the tape. I think everyone's done that. Yeah, just check it. Just check it. Never mind. Yeah, just check it. There you go. Okay, so now what he's going to do is using basically a envelope opener. He's going to slice the graphic at a few strategic points to break this fairly good size piece of vinyl down into some smaller, more user-friendly size pieces. So after he makes the slices, you can go back through, and you always want to take that squeegee and just make sure everything's down good so the hinge tape is stuck good, so when you go to lift it up to take off the release liner. So right now he's going to get the release liner started and start to pull that off. Sometimes that can be the hardest part, is just getting that started. And as you can see, he pulled it down about halfway, and then he's gripping the whole thing, and that keeps it pretty stable while you get things started. You're always moving back and forth with the angle at a slight blade, the squeegee at a slight angle, so that the blade is constantly making little chevrons out. So you'll notice he's rotating his wrist back and forth to keep that blade at about a 45-degree angle as it moves across the vinyl. And once the first section is done, it's just a matter of step and repeat, and we'll just keep moving down the graphic. So if you were really nervous about this, you could take and just also go all the way down where you just cut it into one letter at a time and just make sure the one letter's down. It might take a little bit longer, but for someone that's never done it or is only just getting started with something bigger, then cutting each letter is definitely the way to go. Another time that you're going to want to cut in between all the letters is if you're going on something that's curved. So for example, a windshield on a vehicle, it's going to be on a compound curve, and to make something flat like this go on it, that splitting between each letter and letting them fall where they may will kind of give you that right curved kerning to fit the shape you're going on. So this is about a 12-inch by 8-foot graphic, and I think it's going to take Ben doing it this method. We're right about 4 minutes so far, and again, see how he has his thumb and forefinger pinching all three layers at the bottom there? It really keeps it stable until you get down to the last little bit, pull the release liner off, and finish it out. Tell Ben's done a little installation. So now Ben's going to demonstrate a side hinge. So again, we're going to get it leveled and in the position we want it to be in. And you'll notice there's a center tape that he's pulling the whole graphic back to. And you'll also notice on the right hand side that side tape, and that's going to be for registration, which you'll see in a second. So sometimes if the piece is pretty big, you can take and tape it back up on the graphic itself. And nice save, man. And again, using an envelope opener, you can take and slice that release liner off, and then just bring the whole thing back over. Just gently set it in alignment with the that registration piece of tape on that end. And you can just kind of run your squeegee vertically starting again in the center and working all the way to the end. Another thing to think about is if you're right-handed or left-handed, and as Ben's demonstrating, he's pretty good going either way, but sometimes that can make a difference on which end of the graphic you want to start with. Then simply remove the center hinge. Swish. That's right. Start at the other end and get back to your release liner. And again, he's not going to pull the whole thing off this time. He's going to pull it back to where it meets his hand again. So going about halfway. Start that squeegee process again. Move that last little bit of release liner. There you go, line it up with the alignment tape on the other end. This will ensure that you stay straight and level and don't end up running uphill or downhill. Those little end pieces, pretty important. And you can never really squeegee enough. The adhesive that's on the back of this vinyl is pressure activated. So it's actually the pressure breaking the little beads of adhesive that allow it to stick. If this is going on a vehicle or something else that may be washed, it will take 24 to 72 hours for the adhesive to fully set up, so don't want to be agitating it a lot. You'll notice as he starts to remove the transfer tape, he's going to start at a corner and pull it down at a 90-degree angle and keep it as flat to the surface as possible. You don't want to pull it out towards your chest because you'll potentially pop some vinyl off, because again, it's going to take a while for that adhesive to set up fully. If as you're going, sometimes at a corner or the start of the next letter, an edge may want to pull up a little bit. Just keep your squeegee handy, come back in over the top of the transfer tape and really make sure you got it down, and that should get you going again. And this garage door panel has a, you can't really tell real well in the video, but it has a textured surface to it. And so trying to squeegee down on a textured surface, you're only really hitting the tops of the texture. But in a minute we'll show you how we address that on a textured surface. It almost takes longer to take the transfer tape off than it does to install the graphic. So it looks like he got caught with a little bit of letter there, and he just used his finger to push it back down. Your finger is going to be more moldable to that textured surface than the squeegee was, so looks like he's got a little bit again there. So there you have it. Remove all your tape, smile, and looking good to go. So because this was a textured surface, if this was just a real flat surface or a piece of aluminum or anything else that's really flat and glossy, this step right here wouldn't really be necessary. But whenever you're dealing with a textured surface, you can use these, it's a fairly soft roller made by 3M, and with a little heat. And Ben's a certified installer, and we trust him with a torch. Me, no torch. Actually, they get a little nervous with just a heat gun. But if you're really concerned about burning either the substrate or the vinyl itself, even a blow dryer in this case would probably get it warm enough to help it conform to the textured surface that you're applying to. If you do decide to use a torch, you make sure it's a blue bottle, propane, not a yellow bottle, MAP gas. MAP gas is extremely hot. And whenever you have the flame on, you really do want to keep that tip moving. You don't burn anything until you stop moving your hand. And that's why they don't let me have a torch. So I think you get the idea with the textured surface. Ben's just going to finish running down the rest of this graphic. We really appreciate you guys taking a look at this video. Hope it helps with any installs. If you ever need any advice or help, do send us an email at info@signsforsuccess.biz. Again, that's info@signsforsuccess.biz. Or you can call us at 509-489-4200. Again, that phone number is 509-489-4200.